Yeah, Troy Lock was constructed between 1913 and 1915. We officially opened for business in 1916, thereby it being the 100-year anniversary. Troy Lock was actually constructed using hired labor government forces that came from Panama, from constructing the Panama Canal. The contract was originally put out. The bids came in too high. It was $4 million. At that time, that was very expensive. Government forces ended up coming up from the Panama Canal and doing all the work for $1.3 million. Troy Lock consists of obviously the lock and the Troy Dam. The dam is a navigation structure. It's not a flood control structure. It doesn't have any operating gates. It does have flashboards on the main spillway. That allows for the upstream pool level to be raised up to 2 feet. On the west side of the dam is a headgate structure that was constructed to allow for the future hydropower generation. At the time the Troy Dam was constructed, hydropower wasn't considered an economic alternative, and so the federal government did not pursue constructing a hydropower facility. Later on, a group consisting of Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Harvey Firestone happened to be camping just above the Troy Dam, and they looked down the river and said, this is a great opportunity to develop hydropower. At the time, the laws did not permit private entities to construct hydropower facilities at federal structures. So Henry Ford petitioned Congress, and 3 years later was given permission to have private development on federal lands. In 1921, they began construction of the hydropower facility that you can see on the other side of the river. That plant powered a Ford assembly plant up until the late 80s when that plant was closed. It now is owned and operated by the Green Island Power Authority, and it provides low-cost power to the village of Green Island. I think all of us are excited about the 100-year celebration. You know, the Troy Lock has been a valuable asset to the local community. It serves as the entrance and gateway, the eastern gateway to the New York State Canal system. Canal system is, has an economic benefit associated with it of over $400 million a year, right, from recreation and various waterfront activities and local community development projects and things. So it's a very important, viable asset.
So the 100-year anniversary I'm really excited about, because there's not too many things that you get to that big centenary mark within anything we do. But throughout that 100 years, we've had a lot of people who have not only built the Troy Lock and Dam, but have maintained it and operated it for years and years. And this anniversary speaks to all the excellence that's gone into maintaining the Troy Lock and Dam, but at the same time, it also speaks and represents the commerce that has been facilitated, the economic development that's been facilitated over this 100 years now for all of upstate New York into Lake Champlain and across the Erie Canal. And so it's pretty exciting when you hit a giant milestone such as this.
I was canal director. We saw an uptick. Oil prices started to increase, so we saw an uptick in commercial shipping. I think your average everyday Joe is kind of like commercial shipping along the canal. That doesn't happen. We're seeing a huge increase. I keep in touch with my former colleagues at the Canal Corporation, and being here in the city of Troy, you're seeing firsthand more shipping. We have a gentleman here in the city of Troy who has his business located north of here, Rob Goldman. He is shipping more than ever. He just landed a contract for aggregate goods along the canal system being shipped from Lock 11 and Lock 12. We're seeing more shipping, and as I said earlier, the GE dredging is certainly going to help the increase in commercial shipping, and certainly the Army Corps being the gateway to the rest of the system is a key partner to make that happen.
On a typical year, we have about 3,500 vessels that pass through the Troy Lock. We do about 2,200 to 2,300 lockages. So we keep pretty busy.
A northbounder coming to the lock, they'll give us a call either by telephone or by radio, and they'll ask for permission to enter the lock, at which time I'll get the lock prepared for them. And what we do is we'll drop the lock at that point, and when the lock is completely dropped, we open the gates, we give them the green light, and they proceed in. At which point they find railings in the lock. They pull up midship center cleat with the railing, and they put a line around it. And more or less that's it. I close up the lock, I shut down the valves, and fill the lock again.
Yeah, our current operating season goes typically from the 1st of May through the 30th of November. We do adjust that depending upon what the weather conditions are and what the waterway conditions are. But typically that's our operating season.
As Council President, I would love to see more of a partnership with the Army Corps and maybe even some tours. So the folks here in the city of Troy, we have 50,000 plus residents here in the city of Troy. Do they know that the lock's here? They've probably seen it from afar, or if you're a boater or fisherman or fisherwoman, to be politically correct, you might know of it. But if you're not familiar and haven't been along the waterway, you probably don't know a whole lot about the federal dam here and the history here and the 100th anniversary of the federal dam. So I think we could do more of that, just educating folks and educating the people and residents of Troy and the capital region of the relationship and the importance of this federal dam in our backyard.
Like I said, for me it's a little bittersweet. I'm reaching the end of my career here, so I've seen a lot of changes that have occurred over the years. I've been here for 32 years, been with the Corps of Engineers for 38 years. When I first came here, the electrical systems that were in place, the hydraulic systems, a lot of the structural components were all deteriorating. Within the 32 years, I've seen incredible change. We've had amazing support from our district staff, from our operations staff here, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's kind of bittersweet.
I congratulate the Army Corps. I look forward to continuing that partnership, enhancing it, and I look forward to hopefully taking advantage of this true historical, incredible national treasure right here in our backyard.
So I'd just like to also thank the congressional representatives who have been key to maintaining the funding throughout the years to operate the lock and dam. The community has been great over the last century as far as support to the Corps of Engineers. We also have the New York State Canal Corporation as well that have been great partners, as well as a lot of different industry partners. And especially want to make sure that the crew that operates and maintains the Troy Lock and Dam, led by Bill Petronis, that they are recognized as well, because they do a phenomenal job day in and day out.